Welcome back to Dissect the Question. A 70-year-old woman is beginning to become more unstable when she's upright. On her physician's advice to build up her muscle mass, she decides to join a gym. She employs a trainer to get started on a regular exercise regimen. The trainer advises the woman to increase her dietary intake of protein to build up actin and myosin proteins in her sarcomeres. Which of the following statements best describes the state of actin and myosin filaments within skeletal muscles during a normal muscle contraction? So it turns out that we don't need the clinical vignette at all. So building up a person's muscle mass using dietary intake of protein is going to happen, right? Because it's going to add actin and myosin in her sarcomeres. That's good information, but it really doesn't help us answer the question. So this is a standalone question. The lead-in here, which of the following statements, blah, 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 best describes the state of actin and myosin filaments within skeletal muscles during a normal muscle contraction, can stand alone and doesn't really need a clinical vignette. Therefore, let's look at a sarcomere. How about that? Let's draw a quick picture of a sarcomere. There are two Z lines. Attached to the Z line are thin actin filaments and thick myosin filaments are not attached to the Z line in the same way. And when calcium enters, remember calcium enters through T tubules associated with these Z lines, so calcium enters. That's our calcium. The arrow is indicating calcium has come in. Now we'll get cross bridges between the actin and myosin filaments. And those cross bridges produce the force we call active force. And active force is known as tension or active tension. Active force, active tension mean the same thing for purposeful movement, for the contraction that the question is asking about. Therefore, we have actin has a particular length to it. You see the thin lines there indicating actin, that's A here. And M here is the myosin that has a fixed length. So it's the cross bridges that are produced that are going to pull the Z lines closer together. And so the only variable length is the length of the sarcomere. From Z line to Z line, this is what we call the sarcomere. And so actin and myosin both have fixed lengths. Actin and myosin both have variable lengths? No, that can't be. They can't have both fixed lengths and variable lengths. Does actin have a fixed length and myosin have a variable length? No, it looks like they both have fixed lengths. And so we can eliminate B, C, and D as potential choices. A is clearly the only appropriate answer.